Voting is a civic duty. Let's register on the electoral list. This is a message from Equinoxe Television.
Six p.m. in Uyumojok, that is in the southwest region. Same time right here in Akwadwala. Good evening, dear viewers of Equinoxe Television. Thank you so much for joining me on yet another edition of the 6 p.m. primetime newscast. First, our top stories. An 11-year-old child known as Raphael allegedly commits suicide by hanging in the Bipanda neighborhood of the Douala 5 municipality. This happened immediately after he came back from school. Circumstances surrounding his death will be revealed in this news edition. And we'll stay in the city of Douala, where tragedy strikes the Commander neighborhood. A man plunged to death from the 8th floor after falling into an empty elevator shaft. Witnesses report the victim was distracted by his phone while entering the elevator, failing to notice the missing floor. Those are our top stories. Stay with us for greater details. This is a 6 p.m. primetime newscast on Equinoxe Television, and for presentation, I am Immaculate Fogwe. We begin with this tragedy. An 11-year-old child known as Raphael was discovered dead in the toilet of his home this afternoon. The young boy had just returned from school and was expected to change and meet his mother at her store, but he never showed up. According to reports, Raphael's teacher had sent a video to his teacher, to the mother earlier, showing him with a 2,000 francs note, which allegedly frightened him. The mother, who was at her store, was left stunned when she received the news that her son committed suicide by hanging. The brigade commander of the Bipanda, accompanied by a doctor, arrived at the scene to investigate and confirm the death of the child. The body of Raphael will be taken to the West region for immediate burial. Right now, let's take a listen to the neighbor of where this incident, tragic incident, occurred in the Bipanda neighborhood, who explains to us what exactly happened on today.
My office, when I had shots, and one guy came and told me that you are seated here, something is happening at your neighborhood, so I decided to come and verify what is going on. When I arrived here, I was told that this young man had a problem in school. I don't know when. They said he stole money, and the teacher decided to tell his mom. When he came back from school, he decided to hang, like he took a rope and hung himself, and it generated to his death. But we don't know if there are other stories behind that, but that's just what we can know for now. But maybe after investigations, we can get proper details as concerning what led to his death.
As he rightly said, investigations are ongoing to ascertain the exact cause of Raphael's death, and may his gentle soul rest in perfect peace. On to something else. An AK-47 gun and 2 commercial motorbikes have been presented to the brigade commander of Bengui after inhabitants of Nja village caught 2 suspected bandits in the village. At the hospital runabout neighborhood in Bamenda, which is the chief town of the northwest region, a taxi was destroyed by commercial motorbike riders after the people on board aggressed a lady. Greater details of all these happenings with Smart Jikangebo.
2 commercial motorbikes and a gun were some of the items seized by inhabitants of Nja village in Achatugi, Momo division of the Northwest region from a group of armed bandits who allegedly wanted to kidnap a businessman in Nja village. Thanks to the vigilante committee, one was beaten to death and another captured alive, but he says he was innocent. I was hired by some guys and wasn't aware of their mission here in Achatugi. They had promised to pay me 20,000 francs CFA, only for me to be caught that I was an accomplice, but I am innocent of the accusations. The mayor of Mbengui, accompanied by the commissioner of the public security alongside brigade commander, thanked the population for their efforts.
Even the administration, they are quite aware that a gang of bandits came to launch an attack in Acha, and one was caught in the night. Now, when one was caught, and the population wanted to preserve the life of that one. But because of the atrocities, past atrocities that have been committed in Acha, as we are talking now, there is one of them that had been knifed, and it's just by God's grace that he survived in the hospital. We are taking the bold step to come and actually comfort the people of Acha who have received regular attacks from these unknown gunmen. We're going to hand them to the SDO right away so that the administration is in the best place to take further measures to see that the lives of the people of Acha are secured.
Unfortunately, some of the gang members managed to escape. At hospital roundabouts, a taxi has been damaged by commercial motorbike riders. It is alleged that the taxi that had 4 men inside dragged a bag from a female passenger who was inside the cab. Because the commercial motorcycle riders were unable to lay their hands on the 4 men in the car who were arrested by security forces, they destroyed the taxi at hospital roundabout. At Mobilmkwen, a businessman who was wounded after a shootout has given up the ghost while in hospital. Pa Binam, as he was fondly called, received a bullet on his stomach when a gun battle occurred Thursday night in Bamenda.
Now we talk something else. Researchers Union and civil society actors denounced the brutal killings of 3 researchers in Soulé-de-Roi. It is a locality in the far north region of Cameroon. The slammed government for inadequate funding and security measures, warning of the negative impact it will have on research projects. Mala Glory is the lady on that report.
One was a lecturer at the University of Garoua, while the others were students preparing to defend their PhD program. They were at the Center of Geological and Mining Research in Garoua, and while on the research mission at Soulé-de-Roi in the far north region, the unfortunate incident happened. They were mistaken for terrorists and burned to death. A situation that has left colleagues and friends in shock. Dr. Alban Gachu is the president of the Researchers Syndicate in Cameroon. He doesn't understand why this had to happen when the audio that circulated on social media indicates the victims presented themselves alongside a research guide. Disappointed, he goes further to say the senior divisional officer in his recent release added salt to injury by describing the researchers as unidentified individuals. For one cannot go for a research mission without his identity cards. While on the other hand, many criticize the efficiency of these vigilantes put in place by the government to ensure security in this area. This is the case with civil society actor Nziwum Emmanuel, who believes the vigilantes lack proper training.
There should be clear order that they should not execute. So I think this is one more atrocity, very dangerous, that can go further to tarnish the already tarnished image of Cameroon.
A situation that has come to expose the different challenges faced by researchers in Cameroon, that of securing funds, safety and security risk, potential impacts on data collection and analysis. He adds that the authorities should provide financial means for research projects in Cameroon. Meantime, they urge the government to carry out proper investigations to the incident.
I'm calling on the boss of the national security to pop into this affair with immediate effect and clarify and edify Cameroonians as to what happened.
He thinks the investigation should be independent because the outing of the SDO qualifying the researchers as unknown individuals is annoying.
Malaglory reporting there. A man plunges to death from the 8th floor after falling into an empty elevator shaft. Witnesses report the victim was distracted by his phone while entering into the said elevator, failing to notice the missing floor. Innocent Azar takes us to the Commando neighborhood where the unfortunate incident occurred.
The family in the Commando neighborhood's Douala is devastated by the tragic death of their brother and son, 50-year-old Hassan Audu Kano, in a lodging facility, St. Anthony Plaza, on Wednesday evening. Hassan Audo, who arrived at Douala from Yaoundé for his business affairs, reportedly died while trying to use the elevator to descend from the 8th floor to the 1st floor, as his sister, who watched a footage of the surveillance camera, explains what she saw. We saw a man commanding the elevator several times. He had a face cap covering his face, so we don't know if it was our brother. When the elevator opened, he entered while manipulating his phone. According to an investigator, the elevator came without its cap, so he somersaulted and died. A report the doubt, suspecting a murder case. I know people die in the elevator, but I have never seen or heard an elevator coming without its cap or floor space. We didn't even find blood on the scene. Again, our brother last wrote us at 5:17 p.m. but the camera shows the incident happened at 4:57 p.m. Reports of the investigator says they took his remains to Villakentini morgue at 7 p.m. While at the hospital, record shows they received his body at 2 a.m. So you can see the facts are not corresponding. There is certainly something fishy. Upon receiving their brother's corpse, his face was disfigured, his skull shattered, and his spinal cord broken. We have decided not to stop at this. We will take the case to court for justice to prevail. The case is in the hands of officials of the Bonanjo Research Gendarmerie Brigade.
And in other news, 43 bags of cannabis containing contraband drugs have been burnt by security forces of the Far North Gendarmerie Legion. The bags were seized in the month of September 2024 during a special operation led by the commander of the Far North Gendarmerie Legion in the town of Marwa. Socialist has the details.
In the fight against drug trafficking and the high rate of insecurity in the Far North region, 43 bags of cannabis have been destroyed. The operation was led by Colonel Joseph Desiré Ngele, commander of the Far North Gendarmerie Legion.
We have just put fire on about 43 bags of cannabis that we have seized in special operation in Marwa in the 17th of September 2024. And we went there to destroy it because it could have been used to be introduced in the consumption circuit.
The 43 bags of illegal drugs were intercepted from alleged drug traffickers ready to be sold in the black market. In the bags, security forces also discovered other illegal substances.
And also we have in the bags, we had some bags of tramadol, which have been sold in the town of Marwa. Last month, in February.
Following thorough investigations carried out since September 2024, the hard drugs were presented to administrative authorities on March 6, 2025. The Secretary General at the Governor's Office, representing the Governor of the Far North region, calls for the vigilance of the local population.
And to sensitize the population that they should collaborate with the security forces and the administrative authorities so that we may continue the fight against criminality, and we should be sure that these kind of bad substances may not go through our youth and different terrorist groups and so on.
Meanwhile, security forces say the fight against drug trafficking continues in the Far North region.
Out of Cameroon, health experts in the Democratic Republic of Congo are sounding the alarm as blood banks lie empty, severely impacting the ability to provide medical care. Meanwhile, in Rome, Pope Francis has entered his 4th week of hospitalization at the Gemelli Hospital, where he's receiving treatment. Our foreign news roundup with our reporter, Sergi Chakutu.
Due to the clashes between the FARDC and its allies against the Rwanda-backed AFC and M23 rebels, several hospitals in the cities of North and South Kivu are facing a shortage of blood, which is essential for treating those injured by bullets or explosions. To address this, the Congolese government launched a blood collection campaign in Kinshasa in early February. A first shipment was sent to Goma and Bukavu on March 4th, but its delivery has encountered many difficulties. 60 kilometers from Goma, the mines around the mining town of Rubaya seem to be operating at full capacity. Having fallen into the hands of M23 rebels, they now represent a significant source of funding for the rebels. According to a United Nations report, the political armed movement earns nearly $800,000 per month from them. Elsewhere, since his hospitalization, which began on February 14, the sovereign pontiff has not been able to make any public appearances and in particular has not been able to preside over the traditional Ash Wednesday ceremony, which marks the beginning of Catholic Lent. However, in a recording broadcast this Thursday from St. Peter's Square in Rome, where he usually addresses the faithful, Pope Francis expressed his gratitude to all those who prayed for his recovery. This speech in his native Spanish is the first that the Pope has addressed to Catholics since the beginning of his hospitalization on February 14, 2025.
Let's take this advertorial: empowering women, elevating businesses. EcoBank Cameroon launches Elevate, a revolutionary program dedicated to supporting women entrepreneurs and women-led businesses, bridging the financing gap and unlocking their full potential. Details in this report.
After the launching of Elevate a year ago, the Pan-African Bank, EcoBank Cameroon, presents to its public and clients the new Elevate branch.
It's just more than a banking initiative. It's about our commitment to gender equality and sustainable development. It's about fostering inclusive economic growth and closing the gender gap.
Elevate is a bigger, better and more inclusive program dedicated for women entrepreneurs and women-led businesses to bridge the financing gap and help the women reach their full potentials.
Today we are not only celebrating the anniversary, but we are launching the upgraded version of Elevate 2.0, which is more inclusive. You know, the initial original version was very focused on the small and medium-sized enterprises, and given the impact that it has had, we thought it's important to include the small startup individual as well as the big corporate names in various ways, and also to include those who are not yet formal. They have great ideas, they have an initiative going, but they have not yet formalized their business.
For the launching of the new Elevate branch, EcoBank Cameroon organized a symposium with prominent women business leaders like Aisha Nukti Kaji, Elizabeth Kwem, Epuz Ngwate, who shared inspiring stories, valuable insights and practical advice on the topic, building networks, the importance of mentorship and support for women in business.
So excited because the program that was presented to us today is amazing, and it's touching grassroots communities. As a leader of an association that works with women, I feel like this is a big and good package for them because it really goes down to grassroots community. We want women to feel empowered by all of these packages that Elevate is offering today. So I am satisfied because I feel like the questions we've been asked when we go to the field, like how can Elevate help us, how can Elevate empower us, or how can we grow with Elevate, I think Elevate 2.0 is the answer to all of these questions we've been receiving.
According to the representatives of the government, EcoBank Cameroon's Elevate program is determined to help the women reach their potential, grasp business opportunities and become both scalable and sustainable.
It's been a year since the minister was here for the inauguration of this program, and it has evolved. We went to Elevate 2.0, which makes it inclusive, and we can only be happy and proud of what the program has evolved. This new program will allow us to support our entire target. In addition to small and medium enterprises, people will be supported, the actors of social economy as well, and even those who constitute the informal sector.
With Elevate, EcoBank Cameroon reaffirms their commitment to empowering women in business.
And that editorial ends this first part of the news. Talking Point is up next. The disparity between the number of women that make up Cameroon's population and their representation on the electoral list is striking. Women make up to 51% of the country's population, yet less than 3 million women have registered on the electoral list. This raises important questions about women's participation in politics and barriers they may face. My guest tonight is a politician. She's known as Gladys NJOKO, Regional Coordinator of the Socialist Women STF Group. Thank you so much for accepting my invitation on Talking Point tonight.
Good evening, Immaculate. I'm happy to be here with you today.
Gladys NJOKO, I would like to know from you, what inspired you to pursue a career in politics, and what challenges have you faced just because of the fact that you are a woman?
I didn't really start off as a politician or having interest in politics because when I was young, I didn't know what politics was all about. But I realized the massive inequality among the children growing around us, myself and everything inclusive. I was wondering why some children, will leave school, they'll have to rush to the farm to meet their moms, why they had no pipe-borne water around, they had to go to streams to carry water, and all those things kept me wondering. I was thinking, what can be done so that we can all have, the same opportunity, we can all play together, go to school together, and fetch water together, from a point that is clean and okay. Not only that, there are also some women that I did admire in my life when I was a baby, like Madame Moi, Honorable Moi of blessed memory. I used to hear she was a parliamentarian. It didn't mean much to me, but I know each time she walked in, she was treated differently. People stand up for her and things like that. So I kept wondering, searching, trying to find out, and I came to know in the later life, maybe secondary school, that there's something like politics, and if you join politics, you'll be able to make a change. So I eventually joined politics in my life because of all those things, trying to be the voice of the voiceless, trying to find solutions to problems that I can understand and I can't do anything about it on my own. Notwithstanding, there are some challenges in politics, being a woman. There are times you're working with men that are so domineering. They won't even allow you to say anything, and they are aware of your strength, what you can do. So they keep on trying to suppress you, so you don't have a voice, and they will not even bring you to the limelight because they're afraid that if you come to the limelight, you're going to take their post or something like that. Apart from that, I haven't really had any other challenges. I think my family has been supportive, and I thank God for that. And at times it's demanding, let me put it. You have to stay out late because there's a meeting or during campaigns and things like that. So apart from those things, it's okay. Politics is okay. I think it's a good place for a woman.
Now, the disparity between the number of women that make up Cameroon's population and their representation on the electoral list is striking. Women make up over 51% of the country's population, yet just less than 3 million women have registered on the electoral list. What do you have to say about this very low turnout of women?
It really breaks my heart into two to say that women haven't come out the way I've been expecting, and in spite of all the fact that we've been going to the field trying to encourage them, the turnout is still not acceptable, I would say. But these women, I think they have a lot of difficulties coming out because some of them don't have the money. Some of them are discouraged because at one time they were in politics, they gave in their very best. They gave in their all, and they were disappointed by the outcome of the results. So today, no matter what you say to them, they say, no, I'm no longer interested. I did this, I did that, it didn't work. So we'll keep on encouraging them and educating them that there is always a time for a change, and I think now is the time. And the change that's in each and every one of us. We are the change. You should look in and say, what do I want to change? What is it that I don't like? What is it that I want I want the society to look like? So when you have all those things in your mind every day, you will say, but I can't sit here. I can't sit in my little corner and expect these things to happen. I have to go out and vote and choose my leaders and choose my change. So we are hoping that by the time they close the electoral register this time around, more women would have come out. We're still in the field trying to educate them, trying to pull them out, trying to encourage them.
And do you think the government is doing enough to put women on the spotlight as far as key positions in this country is concerned?
I wouldn't really say yes, because I don't think women are in the spotlight. Because if we take the National Assembly, for instance, it's just 1/3 of the parliamentarians that are women. Same with the Senate. If you take the senior divisional officers, I think there's just one woman in about 54 or 53. I don't really know. There is no female general. No, we've not yet had a female prime minister, but we've had independence for about 64 years. So I don't really think that they are in the limelight. Constitutional Council is a man, Supreme Court, no woman. And we're praying that when SDF will take over, we're going to solve that problem. We're going to put the woman in the limelight, because I believe they can do a good job. You know, women don't really go into politics because they want power. Women are the people that go into politics because they want to change. But men go to politics because they want power. They want to feel power. They want the echoes of power. They want the fragrance of power. They want the taste of power. So it's all about power and themselves. But women go into politics because they truly want a change. You can see it at home. When something is not working, a woman will do her best to change what is wrong. She will be by the child that is wayward to bring the child back on rail. So it's the same thing. They will not change overnight. If you give them the country, you give them a key position, I think they will do well. They will do well, I believe.
And now, what are some of the obstacles that are preventing women from participating in politics in Cameroon, and how do you think we can address all of them?
Participating in politics in Cameroon. The first thing is that some of them are timid. So they won't want to come out, and when they come out, when you hush them the first time, they won't want to come out again. The next thing is that, or the second point, women are like, I don't have anything to say. You people have been there before. Some of the women have been there before. What change did it? No, there was no change. So what am I going to contribute? And I think there are men who don't want to allow their wives to go out into politics because the feel is a kind of, what they do, they want to believe that women do the same thing. But that's not true. Women are gracious people. If they go in for a fight, they make sure they're in that fight for a right reason, and they truly want to believe that they will win the fight. Women always believe in winning, and I think they are born winners. So I would just encourage women, and I encourage other parties and other society voices to educate women, to educate the girl child to come into politics, to tell them the importance of changing the world, of changing our country, and of changing your society by, just casting a vote or joining a political party and being that voice, being that change, because in your little corner you can change. So my dear women, come out, be the change that you want. We can make it, we can fight, and we're going to win. We are winners again.
What policies or initiatives will you propose to support women's empowerment and participation in politics?
That's a little bit tricky, because you look at it that I'm saying, I'm giving the point because I'm a woman. If you put me in power today, I'll create special constituencies for women, so as to encourage women to come into politics. I can say, let me take a region where, or a village where, you know, you have basically farmers there, and I will decide that the deputy or the parliamentarian from that area will be a woman. If you do things like this to encourage women, to show that, you know, they're in the limelight, to show that they're being appreciated, to show that they are worthy, more women will come into politics. They will join. Most of the time you see men into politics because they are ministers, they come, they distribute monies. That's Cameroon politics. So it encourages it encourages the boy child to go into politics. But if you give women position of power and you see them bring valuable change, you see them empower other women, especially the women who feed the nation. If you see them bring a level ground where every child can go to school, where every child can have free medical care or access to it, you know, it will encourage more women to go into politics if they know that all this is coming about through a woman, and women are fighting to even do more to make our society a better one. So that's the only way to encourage them, by bringing them to the limelight, spotlight, by encouraging them to go to school, so that it will not be just putting women there. It should not be equality. It should not be, let me use what the UN uses. It should not be diversity, equality, and inclusiveness. It will be fairness for everyone, that you have what it takes to have that post. So we should encourage them to go to school. They're capable of being anything that they want to be. A woman can be a pilot, there are many of them, so why not? They can have administrative posts and have and make decisions that would affect society, and I truly believe they would take better stance and make better decisions.
Tomorrow is International Women's Day. What message do you have for women watching you right now?
Men, I will ask us to sit back and meditate what kind of change we want to see in our society. I want them not to go out and drink and dance, stay out late just because it's Women's Day. No, we are heavier than that. I want us to have roundtable discussions. I want us to have programs that will empower the woman, and discussions that can bring out leaders. You know, it's through discussions and roundtables that we even discover some of the women that can actually lead women, that are sensitive to the needs of the woman. So tomorrow, come Saturday or come this week that we are all preparing or gearing up towards Saturday, I will ask and pray that the woman should reflect and think about how she can change the society for the better, for the good.
Thank you so much for accepting my invitation on Talking Point tonight.
Thank you, Immaculate. I hope I've encouraged some women. I hope I've pulled out some women in their little niches and corner to come out. Come out, come vote, go register, vote, ensure your vote, and be the change that you want. Look for your candidate for change, and make sure whoever is your candidate for change, make sure you vote for him so that he has the opportunity to change. My candidate for change is Joshua Osei. I'll vote for Joshua Osei. He can bring the change that we need. He can save Cameroon. He can make Cameroon a better place. Thank you, Immaculate.
NJOKO Gladys, Regional Coordinator, Socialist Women, Social Democratic Front, STF Party. Thank you so much for your time. And that will put an end to today's edition of the 6 p.m. primetime newscast on Equinoxe Television. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for always staying with us. Coming up next in some few minutes is the program Equinoxe Soir. From us to you over there, have a wonderful weekend. Bye-bye for now.